not leave it to seeing Drytron come out in Genesys. We also have Dinosaurs and even Chimera. Make sure you guys smash the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. See, guys, don't miss out on more content. So LoganJYA came up with probably a very interesting way to take advantage of Drytron. Now, for those of you that have forgotten, Drytron has an incredibly powerful boss monster in the form of the Draconis here. Now, typically, the way that this deck usually tries to play, it tries to make sure the opponent just can't play the game, usually in the form of a Vanity's monster next to it. Well, don't get to do that here because this is Genesys format, you know. Same thing with, we don't get access to the, the crazy parts of the extra, but we do still have the Mu Beta Fafnir, which is going to allow us access to go down these different lines of the ritual path and do our thing. I also do see we are playing Jack in the Hand in this list, which I do kind of like, actually. Being able to, reveal all these different Drytron names, be very careful with, your one Alpha Thubin, because this card actually costing points could ruin your day, especially at 33 points. Which, 66 of your points are dedicated to this, but also we want to have a Zeus, right? We got to make some sort of use of this extra deck, and having a board clear in the form of Zeus, maybe it is a little bit more dedication, but a battle phase has happened. There has been some sort of actual trade-off with, getting to the mechanics of this. We also do get to see, so this is playing the Book of Lunar Eclipse in here, but this also gets you a discard out of your hand, which can actually make or break certain scenarios. We also do get to see, infamously, that DD Crow ends up being a very strong card in this format. Even same thing with the Lava Golem, especially if your opponent sets up what would be probably a nearly unbreakable field, that Lava Golem gives you that chance to park your monster on top of it, and congratulations, we just broke your field. Alright, we've also got Dinosaurs. Misk is an incredibly broken card in this format. You have to understand, that's why there's a 75-point cost attached to this bad boy, all right? And because of that heavy cost, you don't get to play two of it, but that's fine. We also do get to play a Pankratops in here as well. You want to have an extra strong target to kind of go into, but also the rest of the dinosaur stuff needs some sort of good, consistency pieces to do a job. Let's enter the Dirac card. So Dirac's just got all their haha fun new support, which just kind of turns into, how much can we consistently nuke the field and use these sort of, cleanup style of cards to get the job done. Now also, I do see we are playing the Queen of the Blazing Domain in here. Now, the thing with the Blazing Domain is you are going to have to destroy two face-up cards, including a spell and trap card, but you do have some field spells that you could very easily trade in, for example. What if I get, my key dinosaur established, and then, we smash through the Lost World, and then we activate the Dirac Volcano? Well, okay, I just fixed my problem, I needed those extra pieces to get the field established. Now I can actually have access to that. And that's kind of an important thing right now to be seen. We've also got plenty of Kaiju access down here to take care of any problematic cards that the opponent might be trying to throw at us. But honestly, this is cool, man. This is the sort of stuff that I live for to see in these formats. And board breaking in Genesys format, very, very strong. Also, hello, Dark Ruler No More. Next up here, we actually have Chimera. I didn't think anybody was going to try this idea. Let's be honest here for a second. The Chimera pieces are pretty strong. Also, the Chimera, the Phantom Beast, you can still ping a card out of your opponent's hand. I hate to be the bearer of bad news here, but I feel like in this format, this is going to be a pretty broken card. Also, we do get to play some kind of broken pieces here. The Guardian Chimera is only 33 points. The Branded Fusion is just 33 points at this stage. And, looking at all of these cost associations, it's kind of interesting. And also, I mean, you may as well just play the Dark Hole in the main deck, right? Like, you're going through all of these different bits and pieces here. Just slap this on into the bad boy and call it a day. We also do get to see, I mean, this format, you get to see some of the weirdest options come up. Like, for example, Breakthrough Skill here ends up being a double-sided negation. Enemy Controller here allows you to take your opponent's monster. Now, the trade-off in this format is there are no link monsters. So, fundamentally, you know, whatever you're taking, it's going to be a little bit more rough. And also, Skullmeister just becomes a massively powerful hand trap of choice. Also do get to see Retribution coming up in here as a actual tech choice, along with going with the 2 Albaz. The fact that Albaz in this format actually can do a giant fusion across the opponent's field and actually benefit you from ripping apart the opponent's monsters, I think that's actually incredibly broken. It's the fact we can set this against the Dragon Field into a contact fusion into the Alba Lenitus. It's only in a format like this that I can be like, oh yeah, this is incredibly broken, to say the least. So that's kind of interesting. We also do get to see, oh wow, we're playing Thunder in this deck. So this is once again a good case showing here of why the Rescue Ace package can kind of be a little bit broken in Genesys format. I also do get to see the twin-headed Thunder Dragon showing up. First of all, the fact that I guess we can actually hard make this is hilarious, because, you know, it's just going to be 2 Thunder Dragon monsters to make it. But the sad part is we have to be able to get to the Titan in the first place, and it's going to be a little bit rough. I do see we are kind of forced to rely on like the Kaminari Thunder and certain things like that. But I mean, you do have your alternate summoning condition for this, which can actually get it pretty easily established. But I mean, Colossus is not an option that we can toss around in this format. You know, we would want things like the Gold Sarcophagus, because let's call it what it is at this point. You know, Gold Sarcophagus being one of these cards that can kind of massively tip the scales in your favor is kind of problematic at this stage. You know, let's look at it that way. As long as you kind of eradicate things like Malice out of the picture, then honestly, Gold Sarcophagus kind of slows down a little bit. You know, you don't get the massive chance to see that, oh, hey, you know, this kind of is doing its thing. And of course, only 1 Thunder. The fact that we're only playing 1 Thunder Dragon Fusion in a pile like this is a little bit interesting to me, but it's kind of telling here that you're not really tipping the scales in all of these broken cards. You know, we do have some very, very, very challenging ones, but at the same time, we can kind of, you know, make our choices where we need to. So I actually kind of like that a lot. Also, no, I will not let you be used as material. All right. Ooh, we have Blue Eyes White Dragon for you. Now, huge shout out to playing Blue Eyes in this format, because Kaiba Man becomes one of the best options that you can have, but you don't have that link monster to, you know, cheat things out, which means we're going to have to do this the hard way. We're going to have to rely on the Primite Roars and the Drill Beams to do this. Now, because the Primite package is so gosh darn expensive in this format, it's just going to be, we're hoping to roll out the big Blue Eyes monster and go. I mean, this deck performed very well at the Invitational. It was one of the better choices that people could have. It's just, you have to dedicate these big slot numbers to these cards. And also, I mean, Wishes for the Eyes of Blue is a costly card, but you're going to play one of this. You know, I don't know why you wouldn't try to, especially when you can still get the True Light up and running. It's just your game plan shifts from the I can do link plays to now it's I can fundamentally start to create this board using other methods to the build-a-board process. And that's good. People, you've got to realize that with all of this format shaping up in the way it is, you know, it's quite interesting to see. So, what do you guys think about all of these very, very interesting lists that have been creeping out here for Genesys format? I really am very impressed with this meta. There's so many cool things, it's kind of crazy. So please, leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Patrons! Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.